Can you tell us a bit about your experience?
Okay, so first of all, can you all hear me? And can you see me clearly?
Yeah. Can see you and hear you crystal clear.
Okay, perfect. So, hi everyone, I'm Marwan Zaini. I'm from Lebanon, and currently I'm entering my fifth year of medical studies at the Medical University of Lodz. I've been in this university, it's my fifth year right now, and honestly, I can say so many great things about it. Like, most of my experience in the past 5 years, 4 years, have been great. The university has taught me a lot. It has showed me a lot, and it really felt like family after coming through all these years. Talking about our faculties at the university, we have such advanced laboratories, and you have lots of hands-on experience, whether you are in the dental division or the MD division. Because as you know, we have both faculties, 6 MD and 5 DMD. All of us get to have some hands-on experience in the laboratories we have. Uh, when it comes to practical teaching, the way I would say our classrooms are divided to is that we have small clinical groups that comprise of, let's say, 5 to 10 students per group. So everybody gets a chance to have a hands-on experience. Everyone gets to learn. And I feel like working in one of our laboratories and in person does teach you a lot, much more than lectures and seminars, which is what most universities usually provide. As you can see, we offer lots of methods of teaching. For example, in 6MD, we host lots of workshops where you get to experience some surgical equipment. You get to experience the real setting of a doctor or a dentist. Even in our DMD division, we have a huge phantom lab where students begin working on them starting second year and even third year. As you can see, here is our dental lab. This is one of our phantom labs where every student is given his own phantom, which of course has like normal human reflexes and lots of features which allow you to properly handle a patient's mouth, which really simulates a clinical zone as if you're working in a clinic on your own. Yes,
Can
this
you
picture
tell us?
also goes back to DMD.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, can you tell us a bit about the location and the city and what your experience has been like?
Okay, just give me 1 second because my laptop needs some charge.
No problem. We'll come back to you in a second, no problem. So yeah, you can see a few more of the pictures here of the simulation center for Łódź. They have some of the best facilities in Poland. Really fantastic opportunities available. Marwan, are you back?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm
yeah.
going to leave it with you. As I said, you're the expert, so please tell us a bit about, or carry on from where you left off if you want to talk a bit about the education and then go on a bit about sort of what life is like there for an international student like yourself.
Okay, so perhaps I'll just go on with the pictures we have in the presentation, and then I'll share my experience as an international student coming to Poland. So back to our campus. I've brought up all of the labs we have and the faculties we have on campus. And a bit outside of the university life, we have lots of libraries around. We have the main library of Łódź. That's where most students come to study, to work on their assignments and projects. We have a huge sports faculty in our university, which is personally one of my favorite things. Our university actually has above 35 different sport clubs, like in our city, and they range from some everyday sports like basketball, football, tennis, the regular sports, and they even extend to some not very common sports like horse riding, rock climbing, canoeing. Really, some things that you might not find in every single university around. We have newly renovated our sports campus, so we have a new swimming pool, we have a new gym, a new auditorium, all of these which are really nice to be in. We host lots of activities throughout the year, and we have a tradition of like annual events. One of them, which is in the pictures over here, is the white coat ceremony. And the white coat ceremony is it's a milestone which us med students celebrate during our journey, and it's when you finish completing half of your medical school. So it's when you move on from your preclinical stage to your clinical stage. These are some photos from the white coat this year. It was a wonderful event. There was a musical performance, and it really feels nice to celebrate such a moment. Here are some more pictures from the white coat on top. And in the bottom, we have another event which we host annually, which is the cultural soiree. The cultural soiree is basically an international day event where different students from different countries around the university uh, all come, we come together, we exchange our culture, we exchange food, music, presentations, and so much just so that we can learn about one another and we can all find our common interests and get to know and understand each other. So we mentioned the sports center, some events like the white coat ceremony and the cultural events. I would also like to bring some insight into our student scientific societies. Oh, and this picture here is our graduation ceremony last year. Also a huge event that everybody looks forward to at the end of the year. Uh, for our student scientific societies, we also focus on not just the entertainment side of, having fun and leisure, but also on the academic side. So our university on itself hosts so many international conferences every single year, and we have lots of student research clubs. As a matter of fact, our university also has above 30 to 40 different student scientific clubs covering multiple departments in medicine and DMD, offering lots of chances and opportunities for students to work on research at our uni.
Fantastic. Thank you. You've just given us such a huge insight into the school. And how are you getting on personally? Are you struggling with anything, or what's it like for you at the moment?
Okay, so personally for me, after I just finished my fourth year, that is currently like that was my first year of being a clinical student, and I can really see the difference between preclinical and clinical years over here. In preclinical, we have lots of experience seeing patients, so I do feel like an actual doctor finally. After all these countless hours of studying pharmacology and histology and all of these like theoretical subjects, we finally get to have some hands-on experience at the hospital. So if you would ask me what a typical day would look like, I would wake up at 8 a.m. I would go to hospital, of course, surely a different department every single week, depending on the subject we're covering. And we would see patients every day. Like we'd actually go see patients with our doctors. We do some physical examinations. We'd run some basic tests, basically simulating what a day would look like as an actual doctor. And also, I've asked lots of my dental friends at our university. They also handle lots of patients at this stage. They handle the treatments on their own. They do some things such as scaling, such as caries and root canal treatments. They even do huge things like tooth extractions. So I feel like coming to upper years at a university, you're really treated as a doctor, you're respected as a doctor, and you're expected to work as a doctor at our uni.
That,
So,
yeah,
but
that's
of course,
sorry, go on, carry on.
yeah, yeah. But what I meant to say is that, of course, it does sound intimidating at first, but they do prepare us for this. So by the time you're at my year, like you would know what you're doing, and you would feel confident doing it on your own.
Oh, of course, yeah, you have years and years to prepare, don't you, beforehand, before you get to that kind of a point. But what I was going to say there is it's amazing they give you all these experiences because some of the medical and especially dental schools, actually, even somewhere like the UK, they won't give you the same level of experience with complex different things such as extractions, root canal treatments that you will be able to get in places like Poland and Bulgaria and Georgia, for example. So and Bosnia
Mhm.
as well, of course, that we mentioned. So it's a
Yeah,
fantastic.
definitely. I feel like, yes, I agree. I agree. I feel like at our university, we really do get a good opportunity to experience the clinical setting compared to other universities in Europe.
And where are you looking to go and work afterwards? What's the plan for you?
Okay, so personally, I would love to stay here, but of course, there are some barriers that come at my expense, which is the language barrier, for example. Now, of course, being an English-speaking university, we do learn Polish during our first 2 years of studies, but that does not persist until we graduate. So I do speak Polish, just at a level to communicate with the patients. But if I would like to specialize here, I would be obliged to, of course, speak Polish fluently. Now, even though I have learned the language to some extent, I personally don't plan on staying here after my studies. Like, I would love to travel elsewhere as well to continue my education. But I'm also thinking of staying within Europe. So I've considered Germany, of course, with learning the language. I've considered the UK. Now, I feel like even though you might ask me about my opinion, it's really a subjective question because it depends on so many things like your lifestyle, where you're able to go. it also depends on which country is best for your specialty.
Of course, but people love to hear from you, and
Yeah.
hear your experience and kind of what you're thinking to do from a university like this. I guess the great thing is that you've just answered the question, really. The amazing thing is you have options, don't you? You're not so limited into just going to one place or another. If you study at a university like Łódź, in Europe, you have so many different opportunities afterwards. Let's talk a little bit more about kind of the city and things. As an international student, how safe do you feel in Poland? Because a lot of people, they haven't traveled to Poland before. They don't know what it's like as a country. You know, they only know kind of what they've heard before from other people or on the news or something. So can you tell us about your experience personally?
Okay. If I would like to introduce Poland, like as a like in the beginning to some people who haven't really heard of it before, I would say Poland is really underrated. Not lots of people have heard of Poland before, including some members of my family. But really coming here, you'd be surprised to find that there are so many great things to see. So many beautiful cities and lots of different terrains of nature, actually. Now coming to me, I've never experienced anything dangerous, I would say. I've never been approached in any dangerous way or unsafe way. I usually feel safe, more or less, throughout the city. Like I would go out and walk at night. Me and my friends would go out, at any time during the day, whether we're alone or with company. Uh, I usually feel safe walking around. Now, of course, you'd have to know where to go because I feel like every single country has some spots that are less safe than others, which is why you should always know where you're going, have your research done, and of course, going as a group is always better than being alone. If that's your question.
Perfectly answered my question. Thank you so much. Anything else you want to add for now? I know you're open to joining us for the Q&A shortly. Is there any other advice you want to give
Definitely.
at the moment?
Any other advice I'd like to give? I feel like one thing that people are usually worried of is moving into a new place and being worried about meeting new people and like fitting into their society. One thing I'd like to share is how I integrated into the university life and how easy I felt it was for me to join the uni and meet people and make friends. One thing we have at our university is actually like a mentorship program, which is where senior students can help first year students come in, explore the city, and know what's going on. And they can like one to one explain to them everything going on and like everything they need to know about the university. So every single new student we have at the university would have a mentor assigned to them who can help them make sure they know everything before they come. And I really think that it really affects your experience coming in as a new student.
Marwan, you're a credit to Łódź University. Thank you so much for sharing all of your insight for the school, and you've demonstrated so well all the benefits and the advantages.
Thank you.
You're a
Thank
perfect
you.
example of why international students should study at the school. So,
Thank you.
thank
Appreciate
you
it.
for sharing that. So tell us, what made you decide Poland was the place for you?
Okay, so I was actually looking into a lot of universities and I was very overwhelmed because there are so many options to choose from and a lot of things going on with the admission requirements and stuff. But I did get into touch with someone who already graduated from here and she's currently in US working. So I did speak to her about the university, got a little bit more insight of the admission process and how it is to study in Łódź in Poland. And she was very helpful in that way. And I think that's one of the main reasons I leaned towards the university because I already know someone who graduated from here and is working successfully currently. And also the tuition is very affordable. I know studying in Europe, listening to the seminar, you guys did address how tuition is a big thing that students do consider. And I do believe the student and the living cost here in Łódź is very affordable, even including monthly expenses as well with groceries, rent, any extra leisure activities that you want to do. So these are some things that I took into my consideration in terms of choosing the university, and I've been very pleased and with the experience I've had here at Łódź at Medical University of Lodz so far.
Wow, I can tell you seem so excited presenting the school. That's a testament, I guess, to what they're doing. And can you tell us Obviously, going to a new country can seem like a really scary, daunting thing for a lot of people. Can you tell us kind of what was your main concern in the beginning and how did you overcome it?
My main concern would be, of course, the language. I know Polish is the main language here, and for me, traveling here from the airport, because it's an hour away from the main city, which is the Warsaw, so where the airport is located. So I was a little concerned about getting to the city and the language and the safety, and if I'm going to meet new people that I actually get along with, because this is a completely new country, a completely new location, and you're starting pretty much from scratch, like from buying pots and pans to cook to going to school, you're all on your own. So I was a little scared about that, but it really worked out really well because during the summer, the university does connect you with mentors, which are volunteers from the university, senior students who sign up to kind of help out, bring the students in and get them settled. So speaking to my mentor and getting advice from how to get to the Wuj from the airport, okay, where can I go shopping for groceries, and getting an advice about the dormitories here or the private dormitories here, like where I should be living in terms of accommodation. So these things, I think like speaking to a senior student who's already going through the process, living here and surviving, really helped overcome my fears, I would say.
Fantastic. No, we understand how important that is because we match our students up with seniors in the areas as well to help them get started. So that's something where we completely understand how helpful that can be and how much of a difference it can make. And the other thing I wanted to ask is a lot of people also worry about going to somewhere like Poland or Eastern Europe, and they wonder if it's going to be safe for them as an international student. Now, obviously, you've been there now for, is it 4 years?
Yeah, it's a 4 years. Yeah.
Fantastic. So how do you feel after being there for many years in terms of safety?
I think Poland is very safe. It's a very small, I mean, Łódź, where like I haven't gone too much out of like the university areas, but Łódź and Poland in general is very safe. There's buses and trams available pretty much till very late hours. After like a certain time, I believe 11 p.m., we have these night buses. So they are available all the time in terms of transportation. There's Uber free now that you can access readily in case you're getting lost and you want to get home fast. I do, like Ms. Alexandra said, we have libraries that are open quite late, and during exam session, me and my friends, what we normally do is we go super early in the morning and we don't leave till quite late at night. So once we're done studying, we always come home quite late. And so far, nothing has happened. It's quite safe. And if we are really getting tired, then we of course get like a taxi or an Uber home. But public transportation is really great here, on time, and it has been good. I would say it's generally a very safe place to study in, and nothing major or nothing to be concerned about at all. Yeah.
Okay, and let's hear a bit about the education. What's it like? I guess you're doing clinicals now, right?
That's correct.
Can you tell us a bit about the clinical experience in the Polish hospitals?
Yes, of course. So we have classes in different hospitals. So it's not just one hospital. There's a big hospital here that's just pediatrics. And then there's other hospitals that have very different specialties. So we have to travel around and go to different hospitals for each specialty, and each rotation will last around a week to two, depending on how big, even 3 weeks sometimes, like big rotations last quite some time. And in terms of language, there's nothing to worry about, because when we are interacting with patients, there's always the doctor with you, and whatever the patient say, the doctor is ready to translate, and whatever we ask the patient, the doctor will translate for the patient as well. So there's nothing to, it's not like we walk in and we are alone with the patient and we have to communicate in the language, because a lot of the older generation do not speak English. The younger generations do. So there's always a doctor that's helping you out. So there's no real worries in terms of, oh, how am I going to interact with the patient and am I going to understand them and stuff. And the doctors here, very professional, very useful. They're always readily accessible through email. All you have to do is email them, and we get our timetable at the beginning of the year. So everything is already set. And if there are any changes, we are usually not notified ahead of time. So it usually doesn't happen, but if there is, we'll be notified about it. And yes, it's clinical years have been going quite great so far. And yeah.
Perfect. And what's just one quick bit of advice that you'd give to someone who sat here on the other side of the screen now thinking, should I go for this? Should I not? What should I do? How should I figure this all out? What's your one bit of advice that you'd give there?
I would say go for it. Like one big thing I go by is you only regret the chances you never take. And I was once behind the screen as well, doing my own research, trying to get into a medical school, trying to pursue my dreams. And sometimes you just got to take the risk. I know there's a million questions in your head about, am I doing the right thing? Is it the right place? Is it safe? Is it this and that? But honestly, like I honestly think if you just set your mind to it and just take the risk, it'll all be worth it at the end. Because when you come here, everything just falls into place. Like all your questions, all your doubts, everything will just get answered and it'll all make sense to you. And I feel like it's a very rewarding experience because studying abroad teach you like life skills you will never learn otherwise, like from cooking to groceries to, just learning to adapt, even like the small stuff that we would never learn by just staying home. So I would say just go for it. It is your passion and you want to be a doctor. So I would say just take the risk and go for it.
Fantastic. Ahrani, thank you so much for joining. And obviously you're in such a peak time of your education at the moment. So I understand your time's super valuable. So we really appreciate you here as we do with all the students. So thank you, and thanks Miss Alexandra for telling us all about Woosh.